coaching him, you haven't been with him long, a player who's hit the 1,000 a game?
I'm trying to think now as you say that. I'm trying to think how many guys that I've coached in my career that have had that night. It's probably about 4 or 5, and it's a really special. What an achievement! Like what an incredible achievement. There's so many things that go into it. You got to be an excellent player. They have to have such a great support system. You have to remain healthy. Um, you have to do the things the coach likes you to do at that to keep playing late in your career. It's just awesome. They're the best. They're the best games.
Do you think it's more meaningful that he's not Kopitar or Dowdy or Brown, that he's not a star player and he gets to that? Because usually it's reserved for players who have a great resume with respect to scoring or defending or goaltending.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean in that you got to do the things that the coach, even those guys that play all those games, at some point they transition during your career and you can't always just be the best player. You have to start to do things that are, a little more of the dirty work, I guess is the way I would say it. So, but yeah, to see a guy, be able to hang on and still contribute, not maybe as much on the scoreboard, but in other ways around an organization. Yeah, it's good. Again, there's so much respect. It's such a difficult challenge, and great to see it.
Jim, with both Moore and Lewis in, you've had good success, obviously, with your top 3 lines.
Mm-hmm.
To start the game, will you keep those lines intact, or do you throw Moore back in the top 9, or do you wait and see how it goes?
We'll wait and see how it goes. But yes, I mean, those guys have pretty much, they're always changing. But those 3 groups have had primary minutes together. So we'll see how things go. Yep, we'll start like that and see how things go.
Jim, we talked about the 11-7, put more stress on the forwards. There's obviously one less player. Guys have to play more. Is there any risk having 2 guys coming off long-term injuries? Now you have potentially, 2 fewer forwards that are up to games.
Right. Yeah, it's something we talked about considering going into 11 with those guys just coming back. But they've had good days. They've had enough good days and enough skating, and so we felt like, we'll be able to get through it. Both of them are, we're not bringing them back too soon, or I think he can go. They're completely fit, and so they should be good to go.
Assuming the 7th, you'll be Andreas Anglin with Burrow.
Yeah.
Just, what's the message to him? Is it just kind of keep things simple, knowing that he hasn't played a game in
Yeah.
a couple of months?
Really difficult situation for him, for sure, for having to sit out as much as he did. And there's different reasons. There's left shots, right shots. There's the team been playing pretty well. We've gone, for a while with the 7, and Burr's been part of that group. So, yeah, I mean, we understand he's not going to be at his best. We don't expect that, but just keep it simple. And usually that's what he does, defend well, and he does that really well. And just try to get yourself back in there. So there's not much more we can ask for him.
You're looking at Kevin Fiala's season so far. He started with the discipline issues. He got benched. That whole situation happened. And he does have 30 goals, but he's on pace for his lowest point total in, I think, 6 seasons. The fewest assists he'd have in a season, lowest plus-minus he've ever had. Is he having a good enough season for you through this first half, or has it not been good enough for your 3rd highest paid forward?
I don't think he had I agree. I don't think he had a great start to this season. I think he would say that too. I don't know how far I can go back. Maybe to the Islanders game, if that's the one that jumps off the page to me. But I think since then he's played really well. So he's I think if you could wipe out the first part, and if you started from the Islanders game, I don't know what the numbers look like, but I think they would tell a different story. So everybody goes up and down at different times. So we're expecting Kevin to keep building as he is, and have a great second half to the season and into the playoffs hopefully. So I wouldn't evaluate his season yet.
And he could be a frustrating player for coaches. Todd talked about him being a player that, because of the things he can do with the puck, his offense, you maybe put up with some of the flaws more than other players. But if that offense isn't going, does there become a tipping point where you can't put up with those flaws if it's not also with 70, 80-point seasons kind of thing?
Well, I think it's more than just about points for every player, but I think Kevin in particular. I think Kevin's a dangerous player. Probably my favorite Kevin Fiala highlight of this year was the goal he scored against Philly on the forecheck early. You saw him going up from the red line without the puck, and he was first on the puck. Glaff gives it back to him, shoots and scores. A really simple type of goal, and so he's got that in him. So it's more than just how many points is he getting. Kevin can have a good game, and there's been strides in his game, his overall game, and I don't know if you guys have noticed that have been better, have been maybe better than any other time he's been here. But those don't always show up on the scoreboard. In fact, I had him out on the ice the other night at 6-on-5. I think it was 6-on-5, was it not? I know he was up. They might have got one shift at 6-on-5 against Jersey. I don't know. I can't recall, but I know I had him in mind. He was going. He was, because he was having a good game. He was playing hard. Was it Jersey? It might have been the Philly game. I don't know. I could be confused there, but I had him up, and that typically wouldn't be reserved for him, but he was playing good, so let him roll.
Every opponent has different challenges. What's the one thing you have to do tonight against Tampa?
The obvious is stay out of the box, but that was the obvious against Jersey too, and we ended up having 6 penalty kills. So sometimes the teams put stress on you, and you take penalties. So you have to really try to manage your stick. That's the most important. You can't take stick penalties. Outside of that, their top 6 forwards probably as good as anybody in the league that they can throw out there. We're going to need the whole team. We got to play in their end a little bit. And stress that and take away the odd man rushes, and then we'll take our chances.
If I could, Jim, Trevor Lewis for so many years would win the unsung hero award. What are by the players or by the players?
Yeah.
What are the characteristics, Louis, in your opinion, as head coach this time around? Obviously, he accomplished so much winning the Cups, but on and off the ice, what makes him who he is?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about it. It gets thrown around. People say he's a real pro, like a professional. So if you think about in your profession or the people you know in your circle of friends, doctors, lawyers, whatever a pro is in their area of profession, you're like, that's that. And so that's how I would describe him in hockey and around the rink. He's just at that level, at the highest level of professionalism. Cares about his job, cares about his teammates, cares about his family, his friend. Like just at an elite level in all these different areas. Committed. I don't know. It's a high honor when you get voted by your teammates year after year unsung hero. That there's value in that.